I think if you're Wartburg, you've got to get it in the hands of either Perkins or Jacobsmeyer. Both of them great ball handlers as well, and try to just create some confusion. Both those guys are known for getting defenders off balance and possibly getting a foul called. Would not be out of the question to try to just get a mismatch and get the ball down low to Deemer right away as well. Knights do, that's the good thing with Deemer and Thomas not being in foul trouble. They have some great options here to go with the last under 7 seconds to play.
6.7 seconds left. A little full court pressure here from the Duhawks. They don't want to let the Knights advance it quickly. Jacobsmeyer's going to get to do that. 4 seconds left. Jacobsmeyer kicks it out. Cannon can't hang on the ball. Fade away 3 at the buzzer is short. Double overtime coming up at Levick Arena.
Faith can't believe no foul called on Jacobsmeyer, but I think that's a good no call. The Duhawk defender not coming up to him to guard him, just kind of a miscommunication, wonky play, and Jacobsmeyer can't believe it. He's a little shaken up as well after the play, so maybe an area of concern going into the second overtime. But man, oh man, 5 more minutes of basketball to decide this one again. If you're an Iowa Conference fan, you got to be tuned into this game right now. Just a great effort by both teams so far. And, who would have thought 40 minutes couldn't decide it? Another 5 minutes, wouldn't hurt as well as we go to our second overtime tonight.
Yeah, 82-82. The Den's going to have to throw away my meal transfer because we got basketball to watch here. It's tied at 82 between the Knights and the Duhawks. The team's going back and forth throughout the last few minutes of regulation overtime. Meanwhile, Taylor Jacobsmeyer, who's just shaken up on that last play, is over on the trainer's table receiving some attention. His shoe is off. He's going to get that taped up. We'll see if he's able to come back in the game. He's had a history of injury problems here at Wartburg. Obviously, the torn ACL, the big one, but he was nicked up for quite a bit of the football season with injured elbow, a little bit of a shoulder problem, but now an ankle for him here in the basketball season. The Knights sure could use him if he's able to go.
Yeah, that's going to be crucial for Wartburg as he has been that steady rock throughout this ball game. 19 points is really a great showing for Jacobsmeyer continuing, and would not be surprised if he continues to play at that level and stay aggressive. For Loras coming out and even getting to this point is huge for them again. They were down by double digits in regulation, came back, come to a second overtime. Unfortunately, two of their biggest guys, again, have fouled out. Klein with 4 fouls, concerning for them. For the Knights, just maintain that high tempo and fast pace, and they should have no problem here with 5 minutes to go.
Thomas thought they were going to redo the jump after Gerkich jumped early, and Loras just grabbed the ball right from him. So the Duhawks will begin with possession. 4:48 here in overtime. Schuler all the way to the basket, swatted away by Deemer. Now it's Perkins for the Knights. Deemer with a career high tonight, 22 points. And now going against a small lineup, we'll see what the Knights try to get it to him. Algren gets it to Deemer, top of the key. Pass is tipped away into the backcourt. It is tips, and backcourt violation. Perkins with it, 15 on the shot clock. Deemer at the free throw line. Spins, nice pass, no look to Brett Algren, and it's 84-82.
One of the best assists you'll see in all of the Iowa Conference. That's a great pass from Perkins to find Deemer to cut in. Even better pass behind the back. Algren right there on the block. Great finish.
On the right side, all the way to the basket. Gerkich can't finish. Contested by Deemer under 4 minutes in overtime. The Knights have the ball.
That's the toughest thing for the Duhawks. Again, with their big men out, you got to try to find a way to stop Eddie Deemer.
Deemer to the basket, working on Gerkich. Up and in, 86-82. Deemer taking over the second overtime period.
We'll get ready to see some three-point shooting again by the Duhawks. They're going to have to go to that long-range game again to have success.
3.5 minutes left. Gerkich at the elbow. Outside Schuler, a little bit of miscommunication there. Now Klein open for 3, hasn't hit one in a while, but he got that one to go with Thomas in his face. Man, is this fun. 86-85 with 3:18 left in the second overtime.
I don't want to say I called that, but they were due for a big three-pointer. 13 on the night for the Duhawks.
Deemer at the elbow. Perkins on the wing. Elbow jump shot for Perkins, left it short. Good box out by Schuler, and Perkins fouls Gerkich in the backcourt. You don't want to do that in this situation. Gerkich will go to the line as the Duhawks are in the double bonus with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, just a silly foul there, not only after giving up the three-point play to one of their better shooters, Klein dialing in from long range and bringing them back within 1 point, but then giving the Duhawks a chance to take the lead with no time going off the clock. Just one of those plays, especially for an experienced guy, tough to see if you're a Wartburg fan, for Perkins not only to make the shot, his jump shot from about the elbow, just a little bit short, but then to just come back a frustration foul as Perkins picks up just his first foul on the night.
1 and 2 at the line for Gerkich. It's tied at 86. Under 3 minutes left.
Now something, concerning, we didn't pick up on it in the first overtime. These players got to be feeling some fatigue right now.
Oh, definitely. Deemer throws it out to Cannon in the corner, especially Loras with 2 guys fouled out, and they do not go very deep on their bench at all. Cannon is fouled, and he will go to the line shooting 2. Foul is called on Nathaniel Smith. Just his first foul. Guys to watch for Loras would be Klein. He's got 4. No one else, though, with more than 2 that's on the floor.
Yeah, and don't expect Klein to guard heavily on defense. He's their best shooter, well, one of their best shooters tonight, but leading the team with 22 points. Wouldn't expect him to be too physical down there.
Free throw is good. Jordan Cannon makes it 87-86. You know, our last night vision broadcast against Co, one of the longest games you've probably ever seen. And head coach Dick Paith said it was the longest game other than a double overtime game. Well, now we've got another double overtime game, 88-86.
Man, oh man.
2.5 minutes to go as Cannon makes both free throws. The freshman coming up big at the line in the clutch. Harmony on the right wing. Inside Gerkich on the block. On the baseline. Spins back, throws it over Deemer, and Cannon tips it out. And they're going to say Smith touched it last, though. It'll be Knights ball, 2:19 left.
Yeah, another questionable call down there. Good aggressive play, though, by Cannon to force the officials to call it against the Dewhawks. Just a little scuffle down there toward the baseline. And the Knights have a chance to extend the lead, something they didn't have, they didn't have many opportunities in the first overtime to do that. Have a chance right here.
Deemer hands it off to Cannon. Algren right wing. Now to Perkins. Cannon top of the key, back to Algren. 2 minutes left. Deemer calling for the ball. Thomas can't get it to him. 12 on the shot clock. Now it's Cannon left wing. Deemer still wants it. 7 on the shot clock for Cannon. He dribbles it out. Cannon picks up his dribble. Algren, long three-pointer, back of the rim, no good. And Wartburg, or Loras coming the other way, 1:40 left in overtime.
Still plenty of time for the Dewhawks. Despite those big guys not being in the game, they're going to take a timeout and talk things over. Just a wonderful idea for the Dewhawks. Again, a lot of time left, 1:35. You can talk things over, strategy as well. As long as you get a bucket on this possession, I mean, things still going back and forth as we see it.
Oh, for sure. It's 88-86 Wartburg. It's a full timeout. We'll take a quick break and be back here in double overtime on Night Vision. Looking back to Levick Arena, Knights up 88-86 here in double overtime. And this crowd that filed out here a while ago is probably wishing they were back. It's been a thriller of an Iowa Conference basketball game here in Waverly tonight.
Oh man, it's been exciting. Double overtime basketball, something you don't prepare for, but something you do enjoy when the time comes to you. One of the more fun broadcasts we've been a part of here, especially at Levick Arena, and both teams really just duking it out back and forth. We know how much the Iowa Conference means when we talk about it, but you can see it, the passion of these players and the emotions going in the overtime periods now in our second overtime. If you're just joining us, Loras coming back in regulation by double digits. And as we've talked about, Iowa Conference, so much parity. These two teams, continuing that streak.
It's Smith on the right side out of the timeout. 1:25 to go in double overtime. Thomas reached again, got away with it. Klein open for 3. Thomas in his face. Another 3 for Klein, and Loras leads 89-88.
Unbelievable. Make that 14 on the 3 counter for the Dewhawks. They are just heating up from deep range.
Deemer hands it off to Algren. Algren, the senior, left open for 3. It rims out. Nearly had it. Smith gets the rebound under a minute to play. The Knights need a stop on offense, or on defense. 52 seconds left. There's about a 23-second differential between shot and game clock. So the Knights do not need to foul here. Harmoning left wing. Knights have 2 timeouts left. Dewhawks have 1. 34 seconds left. Gerkich has Perkins on the block. Swatted by Chris Thomas. Down to 5 on the shot clock, and Gerkich traveled. The Knights can hold for the last shot if they wish. down by 1.
Wow, what a play by Thomas. We talked about him picking it up here in the overtime period. All 4 of his points coming here in overtime 1 and 2. He has 3 fouls and makes one of his bigger blocks of the night right there. Now if you're Wartburg, you've been playing up a lot most of this game. Loras has been the team that's had to try to come back in the overtimes. They've done it, they've tied it. Now for Wartburg, they take a timeout because they're going to talk things over. Now you're in the position where you're forced to make a basket, or it could be the ball game.
It is a timeout, Wartburg. 23 seconds left. Again, this one is coming down to the last possession here in overtime, the second overtime period. The Duhawks lead it 89-88 off a 3-pointer from Klein for Loras. Now if you're at Wartburg, you can't settle for a 3 on the other end like the tendency sometimes is to do here in these final seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, despite 23 seconds, obviously not a lot of time, but plenty of time in terms of an offensive possession to try to slow things down, read what the defense is going to put out here for Loras, and, play what the defense is going to give you. They do have 3-point shooters that are capable, and as we've seen, the Duhawks have just been lighting it up from beyond the arc. Wartburg, obviously a little colder than the Duhawks have been in terms of 3-pointers made. So not out of the question here to give it to one of your big guys down low. Eddie Deemer has been, nearly unstoppable in the overtime, except for a couple of missed baskets here. But it'll be interesting to see what Coach Paith draws up here.
Oh yeah, it definitely will be. 89-88. Like you said, though, the Duhawks will probably be trying to focus on Deemer and his 24 points. Not a game high, though. Klein has 25 after that 3. It's Algren, Perkins, Thomas, Cannon, and Deemer on the floor for the Knights. Harmoning, Schuler, Smith, Klein, and Gerkich for the Duhawks. Perkins with the ball. Now to Cannon left side. Gets the screen from Deemer. Cannon drives to the basket. Off the glass and in! Jordan Cannon for 2. Knights lead by 1. 13 seconds left. Harmony has it poked away. Smith gets it back. 7 seconds left. Smith has it tied up by Chris Thomas on the floor. Losing the ball. Timeout called at the last second by Loras. The ball was rolling on the floor when the official blew the whistle. And they're going to say they got it just in time.
Wow. Boy, back-to-back plays. Knights almost steal it coming over across midcourt. I don't know how they got that timeout called. It looked like, Smith battling down there with Thomas for the basketball. Somehow the official saw that he had possession, and I think the timeout came from the bench side. I don't think Smith called that out. He was in too much of a scuffle with Thomas. Regardless, they're going to have 3 seconds, enough time for maybe a dribble and a shot to either, they're going to have to try to win the game. Knights, if you're Wartburg, you got to come out here, obviously play some good D. Wouldn't be out of the question for Loras to go to Klein, the hot hand the past few minutes. You can't foul if you're Wartburg, but Loras, again, going to have about maybe 1 or 2 dribbles, maybe a pass in there, and a shot you've got to get off in 3 seconds flat.
Meanwhile, how about Jordan Cannon for the Knights? Had a pretty slow start to this game, but he's coming absolutely huge. 19 points now for the freshman.
That take was unbelievable moments ago. I mean, you don't think a guy that would start near the free throw line with 2 guys on him going up would somehow get that to go. A foul was not even called on that. So if that doesn't go in, Loras gets the ball, potentially gets fouled. It's a completely different context than it is now with 3 seconds to go. Cannon somehow drives the lane and somehow gets that to go. Still in awe of that play, but Wartburg comes down to this final shot to decide the game. Unbelievable game so far in double overtime.
Pitts is checked in for Algren for the Knights. Defensive substitution, crowd on its feet. 3 seconds left, it comes down to this. Smith looking for Schuler, Klein was open. Now Harmony in the corner, gets Pitts in the air, 3 at the buzzer, no good, and there will be no tip. Wartburg wins in double overtime. What a game at Levick Arena. The Knights are fired up. They improved to 4-3 in conference play with the victory. We will be back after this to try to make sense of it all from Levick Arena. Knights win by 1 on Night Vision.